Good morning. We are breaking into programming to bring you the public inauguration for Houston Mayor John Whitmire. And right now we are just moments away from that ceremony, as well as the swearing in of 16 city council members, as well as the city controller. Thanks for being here with us. I'm Kimberly Davis.
And I'm Stephanie Simmons. Let's get to a live look now at the ceremony happening at the Wortham Theater downtown. Mayor John Whitmire has already taken the oath of office in a private ceremony just after midnight yesterday. Today is the formal public ceremony.
And Whitmire took the oath of office with his daughters, Whitney and Sarah, standing alongside him. His mother's prayer book and Bible were also used. Shortly after taking the oath, Whitmire outlined his list of priorities that include addressing public safety. And yesterday, he went on a ride-along with Houston Police Chief Troy Finner. And during his campaign, Whitmire used his background as chair of the Texas Senate's Criminal Justice Committee to help mold his focus on what he plans on tackling first. He wants to increase the amount of officers on the streets and improve the city's community policing program, while also making sure officers are better able to deal with mental health situations, while also enhancing de-escalation training. Whitmire is also looking at keeping violent offenders in jail and illegal guns off the streets. But he also is working on providing second chance programs to residents with a criminal history, hoping for just that, a second chance.
Whitmire is also looking to improve city services. That plan includes a faster response to 911 calls and making sure the city's metro system is reliable and can get people to where they need to be. Whitmire also intends to put a plan in place to fix city streets and improve a host of old water mains across town. And that's just the start of what he plans to address.
But you can't do that without the help of City Council. Our Victor Jacobo is live where things will begin shortly. Give us an update. How are things looking there, Victor?
Yeah, that's right. Folks have been streaming in here at the Wortham Theater. Everybody heading towards their seats as this ceremony is set to begin. And as you mentioned, John Whitmire will be swearing in the city council members during this event that happens later in just a few minutes. And the day keeps rolling for a busy second full day of office for Mayor John Whitmire. At 11 o'clock, he'll have his first city council meeting over at City Hall. And then in the afternoon, he'll still be there and he'll be meeting with constituents where they can meet with him, shake his hand, and share their concerns directly one-on-one, face-to-face with the new mayor. And then in the evening, he's going to hold a First Responders Appreciation event at the George R. Brown Convention Center. Now, these first few days in office and these first actions by Whitmire, he says, are an effort to highlight what he says are going to be priorities in his administration. That's, that midnight oath of office, the ride along with Chief Finner, meeting with constituents at City Hall and shaking their hands and holding that First Responders event. That's all part of this effort to usher in this new era under his new administration. I spoke with John Whitmire one-on-one the day after he won the election and talked about what he hopes this new era is going to be under his administration. He talked about ushering in more transparency and more trust with the constituency here in Houston. Remember, this is a constituency where we only saw about 17% of voter turnout in the mayoral election, kind of highlighting a rather lack of enthusiasm of people to try to engage with the process and pick their leaders when they have that opportunity. One idea he wants to explore is potentially having a night meeting for City Council at least once a month, so folks can actually get off of work and be able to go and interact with their City Council. That's one idea he wants to look at. So certainly a busy day ahead for him and a busy start to his administration that we will keep track of when this inauguration gets going in just a little bit. I'll send it back to you.
A very busy day indeed, and a busy 24 hours he's had. Thank you so much for that live report, Victor Jacobo. And you are taking a live look inside the theater right now, where I mentioned earlier that 16 city council members are being sworn in today, as well as the city controller, and they are introducing those city council members right now. And KHOU 11 will be streaming the swearing in on KHOU.com this morning. We'll also bring you live team coverage with Victor Jacobo and Adam Bennett throughout the morning as well as the afternoon.
Tonight, Whitmire will forego a customary gala. Instead, he'll host an appreciation event at the George R. Brown Convention Center for the city's first responders, which includes police officers, firefighters, and city employees. That event starts at 6:30. The first major event for the city for Whitmire is the College Football National Championship happening on Monday between Michigan and Washington.
As you can see, more council members are still coming in. There's 16 of them, so there's a whole host of new folks joining the city council this year. And it's just been a really whirlwind of a year for everyone here in Houston.
Yes, and as Victor Jacobo was saying, it was a low voter turnout for mayor, but you can look at a bit of the audience from this public ceremony, and it appears to be very well attended. So despite the voter turnout, a lot of interest here in these 16 city council members being inducted right now, as well as the city controller, and of course our new mayor John Whitmire will be last at this event.
Yes, and I know a lot on his campaign trail. He had mentioned tackling the issue of crime and getting violent offenders off the streets, getting illegal guns off the streets and out of the hands of criminals. So his first step he took as mayor is a ride-along with our police chief yesterday and got a first-hand look of what police officers are dealing with here in the city and what he can do to help.
And that private ceremony took place at 12:01 a.m. He was not wasting any time. This mayor hit the ground running, and he was sworn in with his two daughters by his side using his mother's Bibles as he was sworn in again on that private ceremony. You are taking a look right now at the public ceremony, and he will offer up questions from the public. He wants to see and hear from everyone what their concerns are. And I know as we spoke with a lot of voters heading into the mayoral election, it was exactly what Whitmire said he was going to tackle first, and that was crime in the city.
And as you can see, we are still welcoming the newly sworn in council members momentarily. Again, that ceremony begins shortly. Staff just talked about the private ceremony that happened just after midnight yesterday, but that was just Mayor Whitmire. Now he will be sworn in publicly along with 16 other city council members and the city controller. You are taking a look at the original private swearing in ceremony that happened just after midnight on New Year's Day.
And you just saw to the left of the screen, City Controller Chris Hollins was walking across the stage with his family, so he's a notable face in the city of Houston as a lawyer as well. Looks like maybe we might be at the end of the city council members. It's a long walk across the stage, so.
It's a grand stage for a grand event.
What a beautiful theater. I have never seen inside Wortham Theater near City Hall, so it is just what a gorgeous venue for an event like this.
Absolutely, and it looks like Mayor Whitmire is coming out. This is who we have been waiting for, and you can continue watching this ceremony right now on khou.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you have taken your seats, please stand for the presentation of colors by the Joint Honor Guard from the Houston Police and Houston Fire Department, the Pledge of Allegiance led by Mr. Dylan Zong, and our national anthem performed by the Houston Grand Opera's principal artist, Ms. Eileen Perez, who will be accompanied by the Houston Symphony, conducted by Mr. Gonzalo Farias.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you
Please be seated. Thank you to our Joint Honor Guard, our Dylan Zong, Eileen Perez, and the Houston Symphony Orchestra for that beautiful rendition of our national anthem. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'd like to welcome some very special people who are sitting here on our stage. I want to thank you for joining us and supporting this new administration. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Houston's former mayors and first ladies, beginning with the Honorable Sylvester Turner and his first daughter, Ashley. The Honorable Anise Parker and former First Lady Kathy Hubbard. Former First Lady Mrs. Elise Lanier. And former First Lady Frances Brown. Now I'd ask you to please welcome Reverend Michael Gott, Minister of the Unity of Houston, to offer the inaugural blessing.
Good morning. Mayor Whitmire has asked that this invocation be a brief meditation and a blessing honoring the rich spiritual and religious diversity of our great city. So in that spirit, would you turn within and just become aware of the breath that as it leaves and enters our body, it is the gift of God to keep us living, thriving. And when we focus on that breath, we are present. We are here in this beautiful, sacred moment. I would ask us now to call to mind our neighborhood, our home, our part of this great city of Houston. Seeing our own home and those homes around us, and call to mind our neighbors, some of who we may be very close to, friends of long-standing family. And maybe others who we know a little, maybe by name or by sight. And also those neighbors we don't know at all. But in this moment, we offer them a blessing of loving kindness and compassion, of support. And now I invite us to expand our perspective, to take in this whole wonderful, large, vibrant city of Houston, which is really a neighborhood of neighborhoods, filled with people, most of whom we do not know. Many of them may not look like us, or pray like us, or worship like us, or love like us, or speak like us, and yet they are our neighbor. And so again, we offer our blessing to all of our neighbors in this great city. Blessing of loving kindness, compassion, and support. And now we bring our attention to this stage, to these, our neighbors who have been elected by the collective consciousness of our city. And here I ask God's blessing be upon them. A blessing of wisdom and discernment. A blessing of possibility thinking. Their intuitive minds are open to solutions to the problems we face together. That God, through your guidance, this may be the dawn of a great new age in the city of Houston. So not only do we ask God's blessing upon them, but we offer our own. Paraphrasing that famous saying by President John F. Kennedy, we ask not what our leaders can do for us, but what we can do to support our leaders for our city. What a joy and honor it is in this moment to remember that we are a part of something great, something magnificent. Inauguration means beginning. We are here at the beginning of a new chapter, and we do this together. And so again, God, we ask your blessing be upon all of us neighbors, citizens of this city. May we be mindful of one another, honoring and respecting our differences. May we remember that though we are many, we are one people, all citizens of Houston. And may we also remember and be mindful that though we each walk our lives of the path of life, becoming and unfolding alone, individually, and yet with our common bond of humanity and our common connection to you, God, we never, ever walk alone. Amen. Hold your head up high. Don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of our Lord. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart.
Wow. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Reverend Gott, for those inspiring words, and to Kenneth Gale for that inspiring rendition of You'll Never Walk Alone with the Houston Symphony, a moment in time for this inauguration we will not soon forget. Please welcome now the Honorable Victor Trevino III, Justice of the Peace, Harris County, Precinct 6, Place 1. He will administer the oath of office for the Honorable Mayor John Whitmire and for the City of Houston, and for the Honorable Christopher George Hollins, City Controller-elect.
Okay, please join me at the podium. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, John Whitmire,
I, John Whitmire,
do solemnly swear
that
I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of mayor
the duties of the office of mayor
of the City of Houston,
of the City of Houston,
of the State of
of the
Texas,
State of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States and this state.
of the United States and this state,
So help me God.
so help me God.
God bless. Congratulations.
You are watching the beautiful lead up to the swearing in of our new mayor in Houston, John Whitmire. What a glorious celebration.
Oh, they sounded really good singing too. That was really nice.
There was a rendition of You'll Never Walk Alone, as well as the Symphony Orchestra doing the national anthem. It was so lovely.
Absolutely.
All right, well, you can watch the rest of this ceremony right now on KHOU.com.
And we will have more about the ceremony and today's inaugural events starting on KHOU 11 News at noon.
Of the City of Houston, of the State of Texas, and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and this state. So help me God. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mayor John Whitmire.
It's my honor now to swear in our city council members. Members, if you'll join me at the podium. Coming from both sides. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of City Council of the City of Houston and of the State of Texas, and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and this state. So help me God. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome the 63rd Mayor of the City of Houston, the Honorable John Whitmire.
Thank you, Kimbrell. And if I can manage the city half as well as I picked out the program today, we'll be in great shape. The program was designed to show the amazing diversity and talent of the city of Houston. And where else in America would you have a justice of the peace, the people's court, swear in the mayor of the fourth largest city? It's normally federal. Judge Trevino comes from a long legacy of public servants, which have helped make this the great city that it is. You know, everyone should be smiling this morning because the people of Houston are smiling because they've elected a mayor that's going to listen to them, a mayor that is one that's known for solving problems. And that's why it's exciting to be here today. I have individuals I'd like to thank. I could use all my allotted time if I went through the list that I would like to include. Houstonians that have been so nice and generous to me across Houston during the campaign. Those of you that are here today, I want to thank the council members and our city controller for their willingness to be public servants. I know the sacrifices that you give, what it does to your family, but I applaud your willingness to serve, our diversity on council, and we're going to come together and make a real difference. The only reason I ran was to make a difference. That's the reason I'm here this morning, to make a difference, to make this great city greater. And obviously, I must thank my two daughters. They have been reared by their mother and a father that's been in public office their whole life, not their adult life, since they were born. It's been such a blessing, and I've got more plaques and awards than I can place on a wall, but my greatest accomplishment that I'm most proud of is two productive young ladies that are making contributions on their own, Sarah and Whitney Whitmire. So proud. During the campaign, at campaign forums, I'd get very passionate about my love for this city. Went to high school here, community college, the University of Houston. I've had the honor of representing constituents here for 51 years. I'd get very passionate and I would say, I can't wait. I wish I could go to work in the morning. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's morning time. So let's get started. We have a great city and great people. I could spend the whole program talking about our greatness. The nation will be coming here next week for the national championship. They will highlight Houston. They'll talk about our great med center, our port, our spaceport, our sports teams. And then they're going to talk about our people. We're recognized worldwide as the most diverse city probably in the world. It's something that we're also proud of. I do want us to practice that diversity. As Michael Gott sang, we are all one. We have our unique neighborhoods, our nations of origin, our customs, our religions, our sexual orientation. But I present the opportunity to lead this city as one. When I was approached by Houstonians to run for mayor, they said, Whitmire, you can unite this city. And that's what I intend to do. Now, like most major cities, we have our challenges. I could spend the morning listening to them. Public safety, infrastructure, city services that could be better, city finances that we can no longer kick down the road to address, the homeless issue. When you leave out of this beautiful building, go a block, turn right and go a block and you'll see homeless. The city's done a good job, but we must do better. The homeless deserve our attention, and the Houstonians do not want regular contact with the homeless. We've got to address that. It involves criminal justice, mental health, and prioritize it. affordability. It's the goal of Houstonians to own a home. We cannot waste our resources at the housing authority or the housing department. We've got to reach out. I applaud our justices of the peace in the county who now are helping folks have legal representation before they're evicted. I could go on. Our infrastructure. We've got to be creative. We've got to partner with the county, which we will. I'm already in discussion with commissioners that are willing to work in their precinct and share the costs for city streets. We also must do more with Metro. Ask Metro to partner with us to improve the streets that their buses tear up. There are just so many other things that we can do. But my number one priority and the priority of Houstonians is public safety. If we do not address public safety, the other quality of life issues will not matter. I want you to know that as I travel this city, people are concerned. And the first solution to solving a problem is acknowledge you have one. And I know what the stats say. I know they're headed in the right direction from last year, but 1 year stats does not explain the fullness of the problem. Of course, we've got to increase the number of officers on the street. But we don't have time to go through that process. But I'll commit myself to recruiting our community colleges. We have officers in Austin and Seattle that are contacting me willing to transfer to Houston. We've got to make HPD open its doors to other officers from other agencies. We make it so difficult for people to join HPD. We have cadets that are required to purchase a revolver. A service revolver costs $1,000. After we recruit someone, they move to Houston, they have to go finance at the police credit union how to pay for that $1,000 revolver. That's their introduction to the department. I will get the Police Foundation, Don Sanders and others, to give them their revolver. Let people want to be first responders. And public safety also means firemen. I will meet with the firemen tomorrow to begin negotiations to get them and the city out of court. It can be done. It must be done. You do not sue your first responders in John Whitmire's administration. We will work with our judges. I will be very outspoken. The backlog is being reduced, but this morning there are 1,900 people waiting to go to court for murder or capital murder charges to be held accountable or to be found innocent. The problem is, members, half of them are either on bond or fugitives. 900 are on the street of Houston. That's a small group that is raising havoc that you see on the 10 o'clock news. We've got to address that. We've got to have reliable garbage pickup. Mine's been in front of my house for a week. I thought, surely. But that's reality. And we live in a great city. Great cities do not have those issues. And we're not going to kick the can down the road. We're going to handle the finances. We're going to reach across the aisle. We're going to be very creative working with the county. We're going to reach across the aisle and work with Austin. Houston can get greater resources out of the Land Commissioner office under my leadership because Don Buckingham, a former Senate colleague, has already said, let's sit down and improve relationships. County officials have great responsibility. We have friends there. But I want to remind the county that we're in Harris County this morning. The old model for county services and the sheriff's office to start at the city limits of Houston is backdated to Squatty Lines days, if any of y'all remember Squatty Lines. So, back to public safety. The first thing I did after I was sworn in at 12:01, because I didn't want to waste any time, was ride with Chief Fenner. I wanted our first responders to know that I care and that Houstonians care, that I was representing Houstonians to say thank you, first responders, for putting your life on the line. They are already improving their production. They're already, you can see it in their eyes. They want to work for Mayor Whitmire, and Houston will benefit from that. Our firefighters, too. When I'd make a call with Chief Fenner, firefighters were there. And don't forget our municipal employees. Thank you, Hope. Thank you, municipal employees who keep our offices going. Back to public safety. Collaboration. We have 80-plus agencies in the city of Houston. They don't talk to each other. They can't even talk to each other on police radios. So Chief Fenner is already showing leadership that I respect and like and encourage. Thursday morning at 10 o'clock, he's already having a meeting, and he and I will meet with other law enforcement agencies to divide the city and see that no community is going unprotected. That's what leadership is about, and that's what I and this council will provide for you. So, we can't do it alone. We need the support of Houstonians. Everywhere I go now, people say, how can I help you? You can help us by supporting us, giving us your ideas. I want to listen to the citizens of Houston. I will be in the first floor of City Hall today at 2 o'clock to meet and greet, listen and learn what people's concerns are. One of them this morning actually called my son-in-law, City of Houston, as a courtesy, told him that he used 4 times as much water in December as he did in November. They just want him to know he's got a $1,000 water bill. People need to know where to go. Flooding, that comes under infrastructure. Not only preparation for Harvey, having sufficient first responders, recovery czar, and other people in place, but I want to address with council the drainage, because there hasn't been the maintenance to drainage, a 2-inch cloudburst. You know it, I know it. You know what thoroughfares you can't travel. That has to be corrected. But we have to do it together. We're all public servants. Each and every one of you, and every Houstonian that can hear my voice, you're a public servant, whether you're ever on the ballot or not. And I believe someday we're going to be judged. What did you do with your public service? We need you at the City of Houston. We need your support, your prayers. And like I said, there is much to do. I have no patience, no time to waste. I'm willing to give the next 8 years of the remaining best years of my life to public service on behalf of the City of Houston. So let me just say in closing, it's time for us to go to work. Thank you all for being here. Let's go to work.
Thank you, Mayor. We look forward to your leadership, and I'm sure we'll be able to count on Houstonians to support your administration, sir. Thank you so much. My heartfelt congratulations to all our elected officials who are here. Good luck. God with you over the next 4 years and what you're doing to help this great city of ours. Now it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce a nationally known recording artist, Mary Griffin, and professional gospel musician, Sean Smith, to perform Up Where We Belong, accompanied by the Ernest Walker Rhythm Section.
Knows what tomorrow brings. In a world where few hearts survive, and all I know is the way I feel, and when it's real, I keep it alive. Oh, are mountains in our way, but we climb a step every day. Lord, lift us up where we belong, where the eagles fly on a mountain high. Lord, lift us up where we belong, far from the world we know, where the blue winds blow. Some hang on to used to be. Yes, they do. They live their lives looking behind. Yeah. All I know, sing it now, is the way I feel. Oh, yes. All I know is the way I feel, and I'll keep it alive. Oh, the road seems long, and there are mountains in our way. But we climb a step every day. Lord, lift us up where we belong, where the eagles fly on a mountain high. Lord, lift us up where we belong, hey, far from the world we know, where the time goes by, oh, no time to cry. Lives you and I alive today. Don't lift us up where we belong. Everybody sing it with us. Where we go? Where the eagles fly on a mountain high. Lord, lift us up where we belong, far from the world we know. Lord, lift us up where we belong, hey, where the eagles fly on a mountain high. Lord, lift us up where we belong, hey, far from the world we know, where the blue winds blow. Lift us up where we belong, lift us up where we belong, where the eagles fly on a mountain high. Lift us up where we belong. Lord, come on and lift us up from the world we know, where the cool winds blow. Let them blow, let them blow. All we need is love. Oh, let them blow. Oh, Mary, all we need is love. All this world needs is love. We can get there. We can do it. We can get there. I said, come on, girl. Her shoe's stuck. Pick your shoe up. Oh, okay. Cinderella.
Love lifting us up, lifting shoes out of cracks. I just feel the love this morning. It's great. Thank you, Mary and Sean, for that wonderful rendition. This next young man, you may have seen him on America's Got Talent. He's also won first place in San Antonio's 28th Mariachi Extravaganzas. This 11-year-old is a mariachi prodigy, musician. He's amazing. He's a singer. His inspiration came from his grandfather, another mariachi musician, singer, songwriter back in the 1900s. He has been a mariachi performer since he was 3 years old, and during COVID, he taught himself to play guitar. That wasn't enough. He's recently signed with the Grammy award-winning band La Mafia. This young man continues and hopes to be one day famous mariachi singer like the late Vicente Fernandez, and continues the beautiful mariachi music tradition of Mexican culture. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Eduardo Trevino and Mariachi Nuevo Imperio.
How y'all doing, Houston? La fiesta charra, fiesta del sol. De los arrobeles de con sus cantos la evocación. Que huele a surco y a tradición, remedio de la faena más admirada de mi nación. Bonito es el jaribeo, cuenta su animación. Yo quiero montarle un toro pa' que me mire mi amor. Upayu, y upayu. Yo quiero montarle un toro pa' que me mire mi amor. Y arriba John Whitmire, sí señor. La gente aplaude con emoción. Un toro viene rodado, muy bien colgado por don Ramón. Un toro pa' que lo monte don Filimón. Mientras sus lazadores con gran arriata, con gran primor. Bonito es el jaripeo, cuenta su animación. Yo quiero montarle un toro pa' que me mire mi amor. Upayu, y upayu. Yo quiero montarle un toro pa' que me mire mi amor. Ay, ay, ay. Alza los ojos a verme si no estás comprometida. Por ahí va la despedida, chinito por sus quereres. La perdición de los hombres son las benditas mujeres, y aquí se acaban cantando los versos de los laureles.
Let's give it up for Eduardo and Mariachi, Nuevo Imperio. I'd like to take this time to thank all of our performers and participants this morning, the Houston Symphony, conducted by Gonzalo Farias, the Joint Honor Guard, yes, the Joint Honor Guard from the Houston Police and Houston Fire Departments, Mr. Dylan Zong, Ms. Eileen Perez from the Houston Grand Opera, Reverend Michael Gott, Mr. Kenneth Gale, the Honorable Victor Trevino III, Ms. Mary Griffin, Mr. Sean Smith, the Ernest Walker Rhythm Section, and Mr. Eduardo Trevino and the Mariachi Nuevo Imperio. Thank you to all of you for participating this morning. Special announcement. This afternoon at 2 o'clock, Mayor alluded to that earlier in his speech, the doors of City Hall will be open for Houstonians to come by and meet and greet with him, to tell him what you think of the plans for this city and your thoughts about the city ahead. This evening, the mayor is going to be hosting a special reception that will be recognizing first responders and municipal employees as well. Finally, our elected officials must return to City Hall right now this morning for the first council meeting of the new year. They will be escorted back to City Hall during this finale that's going to start in just a few moments. So I ask that everyone please stay in your seats until the end. As the mayor said, let's get to work. Without further ado, Maestro.